Hello and assalamu alaikum. This is Zain Suhail with you. Welcome back to another video. I hope each one of you is safe, well and healthy. This video is going to be a little bit different because it will cover the story of my journey from Lahore to Dubai during this pandemic situation. So before we dive in, here's the disclaimer. This is not a guide or a directional video of how to land in Dubai during this situation. In this video, I'll be just sharing my experience of how things went while traveling. Let's start with ICA's approval. It is mandatory to have the ICA approval even before you book the ticket. I had a total of 3 applications. The first one I applied on my 1st and it was rejected on my 18th. The second I applied on my 8th and it was rejected on my 18th again. The third application was the new one which was submitted on my 22nd and I received the rejection after my second application was approved. So the application which was approved was already rejected and later on it changed the status on 10th of June that it was under process, and later on just 2 days back I received the approval. So as soon as I received ICA's approval, I started looking for the flights and there were a couple of options available, but the most feasible flight was of Emirates from Lahore to Dubai. So I immediately booked the next available flight. Lahore airport is 1.5 hours away from my home, so I started my journey by keeping that time in my mind, and you have to reach the airport 4 hours before the flight. There were strict measures on the airport. They would not allow more than one person to enter the airport premises, so it wouldn't be a good idea if your family is coming along with you to see you off. And check-in was taking more time than usual. They are taking so much time, I don't know why. Finally the queue has started moving. Yay. You should have your ICA's approval email printed with you because at the time of check-in they will ask for it. This is my ICA's approval copy. So apparently I have to submit a copy with them. So it's always a good idea if you keep a couple of copies of ICA's approval. At the time of check-in, the guy told me that my ICA's number was not updated in the system. I don't know why, but it was soon sorted out and I didn't have a big trouble with it. So but keep a spare copy of your ICA's email approval because they kept one copy with them and then they proceeded with the check-in. Cabin baggage is strictly not allowed. The only exception is laptops and handbags. The rest of the procedure was pretty much regular. You have to pass through the immigration checks and then the final security check. Social distancing was maintained in the waiting area and then we just waited for the flight. So they have just announced that the boarding will be zone by zone so that the people will not gather all at once at the gate. So first was section C and section D and later on it was section A and B because C and D were at the back, so they allowed the passengers to go at the back first and then later on they filled the front seats. Finally we have boarded the plane and it seems like the flight will be on time. I think the total number of passengers were more than 200 and it was a Boeing 777-320 which had a capacity of around 360 seats. It was a really good thing that social distancing in the seats was maintained as well. Only family members were allowed to sit beside each other. So just after the plane took off, they gave us travel kits which included face mask, sanitizers, antibacterial wipes and a pair of gloves. Another important thing, your face has to be covered all the time during the flight, except for the eating. So they served us the breakfast as well. landed in Dubai. Most of the passengers were transit passengers and they just took them towards the transit lounge. So finally I have landed in Dubai, but it seems like I'm the only one entering Dubai. Me and I believe another family, we were just the only ones who were going towards the arrival area. So just before immigration there was a desk and a guy was sitting there. So I handed him over the signed forms and then I was allowed to proceed towards the immigration area.
Okay, dear, that is finished. You can proceed to the immigration counter.
That's it. Thank you. The astonishing and surprising thing was the whole airport was dead empty. There was nobody nearby. Like I couldn't see anyone. Imagine Dubai that empty and quiet. Seeing Dubai airport like this is really frightening. Seriously. Look, there is nobody else. Nobody, literally. As I was about to leave the airport premises, I was stopped by an official and he asked where I'm headed. I told him that I'm headed to my apartment in Sharjah and he said, we'll have to take you. So apparently, if I have to enter another emirate from Dubai, the police will accompany us and they will make sure that I will go back to my home. After a few minutes, Dubai police arrived and they escorted the taxi and we started moving towards Sharjah. As soon as we reached Sharjah border, they stopped us there and then we waited for the Sharjah police. So when the Sharjah police arrived, they escorted me towards Al Rutana hotel, which is right next to Ajman border, and there I could see a board of Al Husn clinic. We had to wait outside until some officials came. They took my ID and after some time they brought some forms. I'm done with all the documentation work. So the thing is, if you are arriving in Dubai, they will take the undertaking, they will take all your information, and if you have to go to Sharjah, again Sharjah guys will do the same. Exactly. Later on they returned my ID and then the same taxi he dropped me to my flat. So this is all the story and I have tried to cover everything whatever happened during this journey, but still if you have any questions you can just comment below and I'll be happy to answer. The taxi which I was commuting in was arranged and paid by Dubai government. I would hugely thank UAE government for allowing us to get back to UAE and reunite with our families and making sure that we reach our homes safely. The 14 days starts from now.